Hello everyone, I am Amit Kasar, working as an assistant professor in International Institute of Information Technology. Today we are going to discuss about AC fundamental. In that we will cover definition of alternating quantity, AC flowing through pure resistance, AC flowing through pure inductance, AC flowing through pure capacitance and resonance in series RLC circuit. So here we will find out the performance of the system when it is connected to the AC supply. We know that there are total three elements of the AC circuit: resistance, inductance and capacitance. So when it is connected to pure AC supply, then we will find out the performance of the system in terms of their current, in terms of waveform and nature of power factor. So first we will go through the basic definitions. So this is there is a alternating quantity and purely sinusoidal waveform shown in figure. Okay. So sinusoidal quantity means what? Magnitude and direction it changes with respect to time. So first we will discuss about amplitude. So amplitude is nothing but what? It is the positive peak or negative peak values of an alternating quantity, that is nothing but amplitude. Second, time period. The time required to complete one cycle of an alternating quantity is nothing but time period. It is denoted by capital T and measured in second. So time period T is also reciprocal of frequency. Third, instantaneous value. As I said, the alternating quantity changes with respect to time. So the value of an alternating quantity at any instant is nothing but instantaneous values, and all the instantaneous values are denoted by small letters. If the alternating quantity is current, then current is denoted by small I1, I2, I3. If alternating quantity is voltage, it is denoted by small V1, V2 and V3. Then frequency. The number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity per second is nothing but frequency. So it is denoted by F and measured in cycle per second, or it is denoted by Hertz. Then angular frequency. The frequency which is measured in terms of radian per second, that is nothing but angular frequency. It is denoted by omega and it is nothing but what? 2 pi f. And last, amplitude. A positive peak value or negative peak value of an alternating quantity is nothing but what? Peak value. It is also called as amplitude. Now we will discuss about AC flowing through pure resistance. Consider a pure resistance is connected to sinusoidal alternating supply. So voltage V is equal to Vm sine of omega t. So as per Ohm's law we know that V is equal to IR. So if you want to find out magnitude of current I or equation of current I is equal to V divided by R. V is nothing but what? Vm sine of omega t. So I is equal to Vm divided by R into sine of omega t, where Vm divided by R is nothing but Im. So we will get one equation of current, small I is equal to Im sine of omega t, where R is equal to Vm divided by Im. Means in this case the voltage and current are in same phase. So if you find out or if you draw there is a waveform of voltage and current, we can show that ki voltage and current are in phase. Means angle between voltage and current is same. Similarly, we can show there is a phasor diagram. So voltage and current are in phase. So angle between Vm and Im is 0. Similarly, AC flowing through pure inductor. Consider a inductor which is connected to sinusoidal supply voltage. We know that V is equal to Vm sine of omega t. So we know that self-induced EMF E is equal to minus L di by dt. Now here we have to find out there is a magnitude of current. So applied voltage is V is equal to Vm sine of omega t. So we can put the value of V, and every time this induced EMF is always opposite to the main supply voltage. So V is equal to minus E. So we can put the value of E in this equation, minus L di by dt. So minus minus it become plus. So we can find out the equation for current. So di is equal to Vm divided by L sine of omega t into dt. If you want to find out current, we have to integrate on both sides. So we will get current I is equal to integration of sine of omega t is cos of omega t with respect to dt, that's why divided by omega. So finally we will get one equation, I is equal to Vm divided by omega L minus cos of omega t. So Vm divided by omega L is nothing but Im in this case. And here we have to represent the equation of current in terms of pure sinusoidal form. So we have to convert this equation in sine form. So for minus cos of omega t, we can use trigonometric relation and we can write sine of omega t minus pi by 2. So finally we will get one equation of current I is equal to Im sine of omega t minus pi by 2. So this minus pi by 2 that indicates what? Ki current lag behind voltage by an angle pi by 2 where Im is equal to Vm divided by omega L and omega L is nothing but XL and it is called as what? Inductive reactance which is measured in ohm. So if you see the waveform of voltage and current, the angle between voltage and current is pi by 2. Voltage is taken as a reference and current waveform is started after there is a pi by 2. Similarly, we can see here there is a angle between voltage and current is pi by 2. Current lag behind voltage by angle pi by 2. Third, AC flowing through pure capacitor. Suppose a pure capacitor connected in C across there is a sinusoidal supply voltage. Initially charge on capacitor is 0. So sinusoidal supply is V is equal to Vm sine of omega t. We know the relationship between Q, C and V. Q is equal to CV. Here V is nothing but there is a applied voltage Vm sine of omega t. And if you want to find out the equation of current, we know the relationship between there is a current and charge. So I is equal to dq by dt, where q is equal to cvm sine of omega t. So we can put the value of q in this equation. So d dt of c of vm sine of omega t. So integration of derivative of sine omega t is nothing but cos omega t. So we will get one equation Vm divided by omega c into cos of omega t. But again, if you want to represent this equation in pure sinusoidal form, here we have to use trigonometric relation and we have to put instead of cos omega t sine of omega t plus pi by 2. That indicates what? Plus pi by 2 means current leads to the voltage by an angle pi by 2 or 90 degree, where Im is equal to Vm divided by 1 divided by omega c, and it is also 1 divided by omega c is nothing but Xc. It is called as capacitive reactance and which is measured in ohm. So the waveform of voltage and current is as shown in figure. Voltage is taken as a reference and current waveform will start from minus pi by 2. Similarly, phasor diagram is also shown in figure. Next part is what? What is the effect of change in frequency on XL and XC? As Im is equal to Vm divided by omega L in pure inductive circuit where XL is equal to omega L, it is called as inductive reactance. So this inductive reactance is directly proportional to frequency. As frequency increases, the value of XL is also increases. In case of capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to frequency. So as frequency increases, the value of Xc is decreases. And last part of this presentation is series RLC circuit. So in this case, resistance, inductance and capacitance are connected in series across sinusoidal supply voltage. So we know that if there is a pure resistance, then voltage and current are in phase. If there is a pure inductor is there, current lag behind voltage by an angle pi by 2. And if there is a pure capacitive circuit is there, we know that the current leads to the voltage by an angle pi by 2. So if you represent this in terms of phasor diagram, so reference is taken as a current because in series circuit current is same. Voltage and current VR and current are in phase in case of pure resistive circuit. So for pure inductive circuit current lag behind voltage and for pure capacitive circuit current leads to the voltage. So if XL is greater than XC, circuit act as an inductive circuit. So voltage is nothing but total voltage is nothing but phasor addition. So V is equal to VR plus in bracket VL minus VC. So if you want to find out magnitude, V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL minus VC bracket square. So V is equal to I into Z, VR is equal to I into R, VL is equal to I into XL, and VC is equal to I into XC. We can take current I common. So current I is equal to V divided by square root of R square plus XL minus XC square. And square root of R square plus XL minus XC bracket square is nothing but impedance of the circuit. So power factor angle we can find out by using R divided by Z, or tan phi is equal to XL minus XC divided by R. Otherwise you can write tan phi is equal to omega L minus 1 divided by omega C divided by R. So in that there are three possibilities. That is depend upon the net reactance. Circuit is act as an inductive circuit, capacitive circuit, or there is a pure resistive circuit. In case 1, if inductive reactance is greater than capacitive reactance, then circuit act as a inductive circuit. So tan phi is positive. In second case, it may be possible that capacitive circuit is greater than inductive circuit. So in this case, circuit is act as a capacitive circuit. In this case, tan phi is negative. And last possibility is what? When this both the reactances become equal, then net reactance of the series RLC circuit is 0. Then circuit act as a pure resistive circuit. So in that case, your tan phi is equal to 0. So means voltage and current are in phase. And last factor, the resonance in series RLC circuit. So we know that in series RLC circuit there are XL and XC, these are frequency component 11. So when frequency varies, value of XL and XC is also varied. At a particular value of frequency, when these two reactances become equal, it is called as series resonance. So at resonance condition, XL is equal to XC. So XL is nothing but omega L and XC is nothing but 1 divided by omega C. So if you put the values of these omega L and 1 divided by omega C, you will get one equation, 1 divided by 2 pi under root LC. So in that case, net reactance is 0, means circuit acts as a pure resistive only. So impedance of the circuit is nothing but resistance. So current flowing to the circuit is maximum. So that's why I is equal to Vm divided by Z. So Z is nothing but resistance only. So I is equal to Vm divided by Z, and current flowing to the circuit is maximum. Thank you.